Hey, gorgeous souls, I'm Natalie, and I'm about to tell you the most shocking double life story that turned an elegant engagement party into the most epic public humiliation you've ever witnessed. For 2 years, I thought I was in an exclusive, loving relationship with my boyfriend Ryan, planning our future together and talking about marriage. But while I was falling deeper in love, Ryan was secretly engaged to another woman and planning a wedding that didn't include me. But here's where this betrayed girlfriend became the queen of revenge. I discovered Ryan's secret engagement 3 days before their party, bought myself a stunning dress, and showed up as his surprise guest to expose his double life in front of 150 of their family and friends. By the time I was finished, Ryan had lost both women, his reputation, and his job, while his fiancée got the most humiliating wake-up call of her life. This story has everything: secret engagements, double life exposure, public humiliation, and the kind of revenge that destroyed a lying man's entire world in one perfect evening. You're ready for this engagement party crash? Because this is how you destroy a cheater who thought he could live two separate lives forever. Beautiful souls, let me take you back to 2.5 years ago when I met Ryan Mitchell and thought I'd found the love of my life, completely unaware that I was actually just his secret side relationship. I'm Natalie, 28 years old, and I work as a graphic designer for a marketing agency in Portland, Oregon. I met Ryan at a coffee shop near my office where he was working on his laptop, and we struck up a conversation about the design project I was reviewing. Ryan was 31, worked as a financial advisor for a large investment firm, and seemed like the perfect man: intelligent, successful, charming, and genuinely interested in getting to know me. Our first date was incredible, and Ryan seemed completely focused on building a relationship with me. I've been waiting to meet someone like you, Ryan told me on our third date. You're exactly the kind of woman I want to build a future with. Ryan was attentive, romantic, and consistent in his communication and attention. We text throughout the day, talk on the phone every evening, and spend weekends together exploring Portland, trying new restaurants, and getting to know each other's interests. After 3 months of dating, Ryan asked me to be his exclusive girlfriend. Natalie, I don't want to see anyone else, Ryan said. I'm completely committed to seeing where this relationship can go. Over our 2-year relationship, Ryan and I developed what seemed like a deep, committed partnership. We spent holidays together, met each other's families, and integrated our lives in ways that felt permanent and serious. Ryan regularly talked about our future together: marriage, buying a house, and starting a family. I can't wait to marry you someday, Ryan would tell me. You're going to be the most beautiful bride, and we're going to have the most amazing life together. Ryan would show me engagement rings online and ask about my preferences for styles and settings. What do you think about this ring? Ryan would ask, showing me jewelry websites. I want to make sure I get you something perfect when the time is right. Ryan also talked about wanting to buy a house together and would send me listings for properties he thought we might like. This house would be perfect for us, Ryan would say. Good neighborhood for raising kids, and close to both our jobs. Looking back, there were patterns in Ryan's availability that should have raised red flags, but he always had reasonable explanations that I trusted. Ryan traveled frequently for work, claiming his financial advisory position required regular client meetings in other cities. I have to go to Seattle this weekend for a client conference, Ryan would explain. It's boring work stuff, but it's important for my career advancement. Ryan was also often unavailable on certain weekdays, particularly Tuesday and Thursday evenings. I have client dinners on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Ryan would tell me. These wealthy clients expect evening meetings and entertainment. It's part of the job. Ryan's work schedule seemed demanding but legitimate for someone in financial services. 1. I'd suggest joining him on business trips or meeting his work colleagues. Ryan would discourage my involvement. These trips are all work and no fun, Ryan would say. You'd be bored sitting around while I'm in meetings all day. Ryan also claimed that his company had strict policies about family members attending work events. My firm prefers to keep personal and professional relationships separate, Ryan explained. Ryan maintained a relatively low social media presence, which he attributed to professional requirements and personal preferences my clients expect. Financial advisors to be discreet and professional online, Ryan told me when I'd comment on his minimal social media activity. Ryan rarely posted photos of us together, claiming he preferred to live in the moment rather than document everything. Online, I'd rather focus on enjoying our time together than worrying about getting the perfect photo, Ryan would say. When I'd post photos of us together, Ryan would ask me to limit the posts or keep them private. I'm just private about my personal life, Ryan explained. I don't want clients and colleagues analyzing my relationship. Ryan's phone was always password protected, and he was careful about keeping it private. I have confidential client information on my phone, Ryan told me. Company policy requires strong security measures. These explanations seemed reasonable for someone in financial services, so I never questioned Ryan's digital privacy. Gorgeous souls, the truth about Ryan's double life came crashing down in the most devastating way possible when I accidentally discovered he was not only dating someone else, but was actually engaged to marry her in 3 months. The discovery happened completely by accident while I was helping my coworker Sarah with a client presentation that required research on financial advisors in the Portland area. Sarah was looking up local financial professionals for potential partnerships when she came across Ryan's company website. Hey, isn't this your boyfriend? Sarah asked, showing me Ryan's professional profile page. The profile included basic information about Ryan's experience and qualifications, but what caught my attention was a small detail at the bottom of his bio. Under personal interests, Ryan's profile mentioned that he was recently engaged and planning a wedding for fall 2024. That's weird. I told Sarah, Ryan and I had been talking about getting engaged, but we're not actually engaged yet. Sarah suggested that maybe the profile was outdated or that Ryan had updated it prematurely as a surprise, but something about the wording bothered me enough that I decided to investigate further. That evening, I searched more thoroughly for Ryan's online presence using his full name and professional information. I found Ryan's LinkedIn profile, which I'd never seen before, and it also mentioned his recent engagement. More concerning, the LinkedIn profile included congratulatory comments from colleagues and friends about his engagement to someone named Emma. Congratulations on your engagement to Emma. One colleague had written, "You two are perfect together. Can't wait for the wedding, Ryan and Emma." Another connection had commented, "I had never heard Ryan mention anyone named Emma, and he certainly wasn't engaged to me." My heart started racing as I realized that Ryan might be engaged to someone else entirely. I started searching for Ryan Mitchell Emma on various social media platforms to see if I could find more information about this mysterious fiancé. On Instagram, I found an account for Emma Patterson, a 26-year-old teacher from Portland, whose recent posts included photos of an engagement ring and captions about wedding planning. Emma's Instagram showed a beautiful engagement ring with the caption said, "Yes to forever with my best friend." #engaged, #wedding planning. Single quotes scrolling through Emma's photos. I found pictures of her with a man who was clearly Ryan, though she only showed him from behind or in profile shots that didn't clearly reveal his face. The photos showed Emma and Ryan at romantic restaurants, on hiking trips, and at what appeared to be family gatherings. One particularly devastating photo showed Emma wearing Ryan's jacket with the caption borrowing my fiance's jacket on a romantic weekend getaway. The timeline of Emma's posts showed that she and Ryan had been together for over 3 years and had gotten engaged 6 months ago. Asterisk, as I studied Emma's social media history, I realized that her relationship with Ryan overlapped completely with our relationship. Emma had been posting about dates with Ryan during the same time periods when Ryan claimed to be traveling for work or attending client dinners. A photo of Emma and Ryan at a fancy restaurant was posted on the same Tuesday evening that Ryan had told me he was having a work dinner with clients. Another post showed Emma and Ryan on a weekend hiking trip during the same weekend that Ryan had claimed to be at a business conference in Seattle. Ryan had been living a complete double life, maintaining serious relationships with both Emma and me simultaneously. The most heartbreaking realization was that Emma seemed completely unaware of my existence, just as I had been unaware of hers, Emma's. Posts about Ryan were genuine and loving, showing that she believed they were in an exclusive, committed relationship. Further investigation of Emma's social media revealed that she and Ryan were planning an engagement party for the following Saturday evening. Emma had posted about the party planning, including details about the venue, decorations, and guest list. 1 week until our engagement party, Emma had posted, "So excited to celebrate our love with family and friends at the Riverside Manor." #engagement party. The post included photos of Emma's dress shopping and party preparation activities. I also found the event page for the engagement party, which listed 150 expected guests, including Ryan's family members, work colleagues, and close friends. Looking at the guest list, I recognized several names of people Ryan had mentioned to me as family members and co-workers. Ryan had been planning to celebrate his engagement to Emma with people who know about our relationship or had even met me before. To confirm what I discovered, I drove by the address listed on Emma's social media to see if Ryan's car was there. Sure enough, Ryan's distinctive black BMW was parked in the driveway of a house that Emma had tagged as home in multiple posts. I sat in my car outside the house and watched Ryan come outside to get something from his car, confirming that he was definitely living with Emma while maintaining our relationship. The evidence was overwhelming and undeniable. Ryan had been engaged to Emma for 6 months while continuing our 2-year relationship. I realized that I had 3 options: confront Ryan privately, warn Emma about his cheating, or find a way to expose his double life publicly. Given the magnitude of Ryan's deception and the fact that both Emma and I were victims of his lies, I decided that public exposure was the only way to ensure he faced appropriate consequences. The engagement party provided the perfect opportunity for maximum impact with an audience of 150 people who needed to know what kind of man Ryan really was. Beautiful souls, Ryan's engagement party was supposed to be his moment of triumph, celebrating his future with Emma while keeping his double life hidden from everyone. Instead, it became the stage for the most epic public exposure of a cheating boyfriend in social media history. I had 1 week to plan my infiltration of Ryan and Emma's engagement party at the Riverside Manor. First, I researched the venue and the event details from Emma's social media posts to understand the layout, timing, and dress code. The party was scheduled for Saturday evening from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. with cocktails, dinner, and dancing. Emma had posted about the elegant cocktail attire dress code and showed photos of her beautiful navy blue dress. I bought myself a stunning red dress that would ensure I stood out in any crowd and couldn't be missed by Ryan or the guests. I also prepared a folder of evidence including printed photos from Emma's social media, screenshots of our text conversations, and documentation of our 2-year relationship. My plan was to attend the party as Ryan's surprise guest and expose his double life in front of everyone who mattered to both him and Emma. I arrived at the Riverside Manor at 6:30 p.m. after the party had started but before the formal dinner. Program began. The venue was beautiful, decorated with elegant flowers and romantic lighting that Emma had clearly spent months planning. I walked confidently into the reception area where guests were mingling with cocktails and appetizers. The first person I recognized was Ryan's mother, Patricia, who I'd met several times during our relationship. Natalie, Patricia said, with surprise and confusion, "What are you doing here? How did you know about Ryan's engagement party?" "I'm here to celebrate Ryan's special day," I replied calmly. I wouldn't miss such an important moment in his life. Patricia looked confused and concerned, clearly trying to understand why Ryan's girlfriend was at his engagement party to another woman. "Does Ryan know you're here?" Patricia asked nervously. "It's a surprise," I told her with a smile. "I'm sure he'll be thrilled to see me." As I moved through the party, I encountered several other people who recognized me from my relationship with Ryan, Ryan's brother Michael, who I'd spent Thanksgiving with the previous year, was clearly shocked to see me. "Natalie, what are you doing here?" Michael asked quietly. "This is Ryan's engagement party to Emma. I know exactly what this is," I replied. "I'm here to celebrate Ryan's honesty and commitment." Several of Ryan's work colleagues who had met me at company events were equally confused by my presence. "Isn't that Ryan's girlfriend, Natalie?" I overheard one colleague whisper to another, "Why is she at his engagement party to someone else?" The confusion among guests who knew about my relationship with Ryan was creating exactly the buzz and attention I wanted. Word was spreading through the party that Ryan's girlfriend had shown up at his engagement party, and people were trying to understand what was happening. I approached Emma, who was mingling with guests near the gift table, looking radiant in her navy blue dress and engagement ring. "Emma, congratulations on your engagement," I said warmly. "You look absolutely beautiful tonight." "Thank you so much," Emma replied graciously. "I'm sorry. I don't think we've met. How do you know Ryan?" "Oh, Ryan and I have been very close for the past 2 years," I told her. "We've shared so many wonderful memories together." Emma looked confused but continued, "To be polite, are you a colleague from his work?" "Actually, I'm his girlfriend," I said calmly. "Or at least, I was until I discovered he was engaged to you." Emma's face went white with shock. "I'm sorry, what did you say?" "Ryan and I have been in an exclusive relationship for 2 years," I explained. "He told me he loved me and wanted to marry me. I had no idea he was already engaged to someone else." Emma stared at me in disbelief, trying to process what I was telling her. At that moment, Ryan appeared from across the room and saw me talking to Emma. Ryan's face showed pure panic as he realized his double life was about to be exposed in front of 150 guests. "Natalie, what are you doing here?" Ryan asked, trying to keep his voice low. "I'm here to celebrate your engagement, darling," I said loudly enough for nearby guests to hear. "I thought your fiancé should meet your girlfriend of 2 years." Emma looked back and forth between Ryan and me, her confusion turning to horror as she began to understand the situation. "Ryan, what is she talking about?" Emma demanded. "Who is this woman?" "Emma, I can explain everything," Ryan said desperately. "This is just a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding." I pulled out my phone and showed Emma photos of Ryan and me together. "Here are pictures from our relationship over the past 2 years. Here are text messages where he tells me he loves me. Here are photos from last month when he took me to dinner at the same restaurant where you got engaged. Emma started crying as she realized the scope of Ryan's deception. You've been cheating on me for our entire relationship, Emma asked Ryan through tears. By this point, the confrontation had attracted the attention of most of the party guests, who gathered around to witness the drama. Ladies and gentlemen, I announced to the crowd, I have some information about the groom that I think you should know before you celebrate this engagement. I pulled out the folder of evidence I'd prepared and began showing photos and documentation to the gathered guests. Ryan has been living a double life for the past 2 years, maintaining relationships with both Emma and me simultaneously. I showed the crowd photos of Ryan and me together at family gatherings with his relatives who were present at the party. Here's Ryan with me at Thanksgiving dinner with his family, I said, showing the photo to his mother and brother. And here's a photo from our weekend trip to Seattle last month. When he told Emma he was working, the guests were shocked and horrified as they realized the extent of Ryan's deception. Ryan's family members were mortified to learn that their son and brother had been lying to everyone for years. Gorgeous souls. The engagement party meltdown was just the beginning of Ryan's complete social, professional, and personal destruction as 150 witnesses spread the word about his double life throughout Portland's social and business communities. The engagement party dissolved into chaos as guests processed the revelation of Ryan's double life. Emma removed her engagement ring and threw it at Ryan in front of everyone. You destroyed everything, Emma screamed through tears. I wasted 3 years of my life on a lying cheater. Emma's parents, who had helped pay for the engagement party, were furious with Ryan for humiliating their daughter. You will never contact our daughter again, Emma's father told Ryan. You're a disgrace, and we'll make sure everyone knows what kind of man you are. Ryan's own family was horrified by his behavior and the public humiliation he'd brought on their family name. Ryan, how could you do this to Emma and to Natalie? His mother, Patricia, asked, We raised you better than this. I'm ashamed to call you my son. Ryan tried to leave the party quickly, but guests blocked his exit to express their disgust with his behavior. You're a sick liar, one of Emma's friends told Ryan. Emma deserves so much better than a cheating coward like you. Multiple guests recorded videos of the confrontation and posted them on social media within hours of the party. The story of Ryan's double life exposure went viral on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook with hashtags like #EngagementPartyExposed and #CheatingGroom. Emma posted her own statement on social media with photos of Ryan and explanations of his deception. This man manipulated and lied to me for 3 years while maintaining a secret relationship with another woman, Emma wrote. I'm sharing this to warn other women about Ryan Mitchell and his pattern of deception. My own social media post documenting Ryan's double life received thousands of shares and comments from people expressing support and outrage. Thank you for exposing this cheater, women commented. More people need to speak out about men who lie and manipulate multiple women. Ryan's professional reputation was destroyed as the viral posts were shared among Portland's business community. Ryan's employer was tagged in multiple social media posts about his deceptive behavior and lack of integrity. How can a financial advisor be trusted with money when he can't be trusted with basic honesty in relationships? One viral comment read, Ryan's company launched an internal investigation into his conduct and discovered that he'd been using company resources to maintain his double life. Ryan had been scheduling fake client meetings to cover his dates with Emma while claiming work travel to avoid time with me. Ryan was fired for violating company policies regarding professional conduct and misrepresentation. We cannot employ someone whose personal conduct demonstrates such a fundamental lack of integrity, Ryan's manager announced. Ryan's termination was reported in local business publications, further damaging his professional reputation. Ryan became essentially unemployable in Portland's tight-knit financial services industry. Emma and I connected after the engagement party disaster to compare our experiences and support each other's recovery. I can't believe he fooled both of us for so long, Emma told me. You saved me from marrying someone who would have continued cheating throughout our marriage. Emma and I discovered that Ryan had been incredibly sophisticated in maintaining his double life, using different social circles and work schedules to keep us separated. He had a completely different personality with me than he had with you, Emma realized. He was tailoring his behavior to what each of us wanted in a relationship. Emma and I became friends bonded by our shared experience of Ryan's manipulation and deception. We also worked together to warn other women in Portland about Ryan's pattern of deceptive dating behavior. Ryan's social life collapsed as friends and colleagues learned about his double life and chose not to associate with him. Ryan was uninvited from social events, removed from friend groups, and excluded from professional networking opportunities. We can't trust someone who would lie to two women for years, former friends explained when they cut contact with Ryan. Ryan's dating prospects in Portland became non-existent as his reputation for deception spread throughout the social scene. Dating apps and social media made it impossible for Ryan to hide his identity or start fresh with new women. Isn't that the guy who was exposed for having a secret fiancé? Became the common reaction when women encountered Ryan's dating profiles. The experience of exposing Ryan's double life was ultimately empowering and healing for both Emma and me. Discovering Ryan's lies was devastating, but exposing them publicly gave me back my power. I realized I learned to trust my instincts about relationship red flags and to investigate inconsistencies rather than accepting convenient explanations. If someone's schedule doesn't make sense or their digital footprint seems limited, there might be a reason. I now tell friends. I also learned the importance of verifying relationship exclusivity through actions rather than just words. Emma and I both found new relationships with men who value honesty and transparency above convenience and control. After Ryan's lies, authentic communication feels like a luxury. Emma told me about her new boyfriend today, 2 years after the engagement party exposure. Ryan is still dealing with the consequences of his deceptive behavior. Ryan moved to a different city to try to rebuild his career and reputation. But the viral nature of his exposure follows him online. Ryan's LinkedIn profile and professional references are permanently affected by the publicity around his dishonesty. Ryan occasionally sends apology messages to both Emma and me, but neither of us responds to his communications. Ryan had every opportunity to be honest and chose deception instead. I tell people who ask if I feel sorry for him. He destroyed 2 relationships and hurt multiple people because he was selfish and cowardly. I learned that some people will maintain elaborate lies for years rather than have honest conversations about what they actually want. Ryan thought he could have the best of both relationships without either Emma or me ever discovering his deception. Instead, his lies destroyed both relationships, his career, his reputation, and his social standing in one spectacular evening. That's how you handle a boyfriend who's living a double life, y'all. You expose their lies publicly and let them face the consequences of their choices. Sometimes the best revenge comes from simply telling the truth and letting someone's own actions destroy their carefully constructed false reality. And gorgeous souls, if this story resonated with you, if you suspected a partner of living a double life or discovered deception in your own relationships, I want you to know that your instincts are probably right and you deserve complete honesty from anyone you're dating. If you want to hear more stories like this, more tales of double life exposure, cheating consequences, and the power of public truth-telling, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Your support means everything to me, beautiful souls. Every like, every comment, every share helps me reach more people who need to hear these stories. So smash that subscribe button. Leave me a comment about your own experiences with deceptive partners. And let's build a community of people who refuse to accept lies and manipulation in relationships. I'll see you gorgeous souls in the next story. And remember, always trust your instincts. Verify what people tell you. And never settle for someone who can't give you complete honesty and transparency. Asterisk.